Sterling Holmes with FanSided with my guy, Ben Gregory with Special Olympics. We are here unified with gaming for inclusion. Special guest here, Shoutcaster from the event, Billy Seide. Billy, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today, Sterling?
I am doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day here in Kansas City. And by beautiful, I mean 33 degrees. It's very, very cold. I don't do well with the cold, but you don't have to do that when you're shoutcasting. First and foremost, what was your favorite part about that event?
I actually wrote down notes, so it was actually very good from last that I wrote. I got from yesterday from you guys. My favorite experience being part of it was the game analysis. I enjoyed going over notes because when I was chairman of the Athlete Leadership Council for Special Olympics New York, I go over notes. I used to go over notes and agendas, so that was my favorite thing, was just going over the notes. And my favorite part of it also was interviewing the WWE guys and then NFL people, because I'm a huge wrestling fan.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, it was such a fun event, and those guys were so nice, so energetic, so entertaining. Ben, I'll let you have the next question right here.
So, Billy, this has kind of been a thing that I ask everybody during this. Are you a big gamer? And if you are, what are your top 3 games that you play?
Ooh, I am a big gamer. I actually have 4 or 5. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
All right. Well, my first game's got to be Rocket League, obviously. So it's Rocket League, MLB, WWE, the MLB The Show, WWE, Call of Duty, even though I'm not that good at it. I usually just go and hide somewhere, and then when someone comes, I just do that. NFL and NHL.
It's a great list. By the way, I think you might be the first one, correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, the first one to put Rocket League on there. You know, this whole tournament was Rocket League, and that's why some of those celebrity guys like Jamal Charles are like, yeah, no, we're not big Rocket League guys. So you would have had a competitive advantage over those people. You would have been the leader in the clubhouse. I'd put money on you there, Billy. How did it feel intersecting and talking with and talking about these professional shoutcasters for Microsoft?
No, it felt good and exciting to do it, and I really enjoyed myself doing it because I was the first Rocket League champion in 2021 for Gaming for Inclusion. And the tournament was 6 or 7 hours, and Special Olympics New York instituted it back in 2021 because of the pandemic, and we had nothing else to do. So Kyle Walsh and my friend Will Smith kind of thought outside the box, and they said, might as well do Rocket League. And so we instituted that in 2021, and GFI was looking for people. So I was the only one from New York at the time, and it was 6 or 7 hours, and me and my partner happened to be based in Chicago. And we won the thing in 2021, and I played with Athena, who's with a different organization. And she was the first celebrity I played with, and that was a good thing. And never played a national tournament before for Gaming for Inclusion. I was the first.
Amazing. Just really quickly here on the 6 to 7 hours. I mean, that is a grind. How do you keep yourself engaged during that entire time? Because I mean, for me personally, like not just the like physical wear, obviously, but mentally, that has to be draining.
Oh yeah, no. At the time, it was 6 or 7 hours. This year, they thought of it interesting way. They did a beginner's bracket and an advanced bracket. So the beginner's bracket was still 6 or 7 hours, but the advanced bracket was like up to like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Yeah. So, but the beginner's bracket, lots of people. They try. I give them their best. They try and get the car like 5 feet in the air, but the advanced bracket, forget. They're doing aerials like crazy in the air that I can't even do.
Ben, you get the next one here.
So why do you think shoutcasting is so important for Special Olympics athletes to learn? As you were a part of this group, I was a part of the group that went previously. So tell me what your opinions and thoughts on about that.
No, shoutcasting, it's important to always try new things. And I didn't think I would do new things with shoutcasting. And when it was in one of the it was in one of the questionnaires that I did a year or 2 ago. It said, would you ever do shoutcasting? I said, yeah, sure. I didn't think of it 3 years later. I would do it now, but you know, it was long, but I really enjoyed it. I met new people from Chicago. The hilarious thing is I never met them in person, so I'd always do it virtually. So when we met in person in New York, which wasn't too far of a drive for me, I met them. They're like, oh, it's good to see you finally in person for once. So it's always good to try new things. And my parents have always said, try new stuff. You never know what can get you through the door and everything like that. And I've always networked with the right people. So I've always done that. So it's always good to try new things out.
When it comes to shoutcasting, if someone is new, if someone's trying to break in and try and get some tips to try and learn how to shoutcast, what tips would you give them? And what did you learn from the Microsoft Shoutcasters when you went to that trip again in New York?
Play the games they are teaching you and write down a lot of notes. I studied when I knew I was going to Microsoft in New York City. I would just study the games. I would follow the games on like YouTube and stuff like that. And one of the guys has Up, Down, Down, which is Xavier Woods. So I would see his gaming stream. But obviously he wasn't a good Rocket League guy because he lost. And I kind of said he was going to lose. So I didn't think he'd lose that bad, but he lost. So I'm glad. But just study the games, write down notes. I wrote down a lot of notes. And then I went over my notes because I'm like that. Very
good tip. That's a very good tip. You got to be prepared. Preparedness is the key to pretty much anything in business, right? You got to be prepared. That's a very good tip for everyone who's out there, who's new, who's learning to become a shoutcaster. Preparedness, that's the way to go. Ben, you got the next one here.
All right. So this big event, Gaming for Inclusion. What does that word inclusion mean to you as an individual?
Inclusion means that you are belonged. In 1999, I first started this opportunity with Special Olympics in March of 99. My parents found something in a phone book, which, most people don't use a phone book now. So my parents found it, Special Olympics in a phone book. And in New York at the time, it was areas. So my coach at the time, who I'm still friends with, who I'm going to see Sunday for Unified Bowling, said, bring him along. I did a competition for basketball. My parents brought me to him. He said, good acquisition, good pick. And I've been fortunately been with Special Olympics since March of 99. And, now I'm on 6 councils, which I am pretty busy. And I'm the only one in New York to be on the US ALC. So I'm pretty busy with all of it, with inclusion and everything like that.
Not just this event, but you've done a lot of other big events or been a part of them as well. You had the opportunity to play softball in China at the World Games in 2007. I would love to hear more about this experience for you.
I didn't think you know that. Wow, I wonder where you got that one from. But it was 3 weeks in China, 2007. I've never been outside of the U.S., so that was a nice trip. Going outside of the U.S. 3 weeks. My parents got their second honeymoon, so they went to Las Vegas, and I went to China. And it was nice. It was fun playing other teams throughout the world because I never got that opportunity. And 2007 felt so long, but I had fun. Just adjusting to the time zone was a little tough, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, Ben, you the next one here.
All right. You mentioned the US ALC. For those of us that aren't in the know, can you give a little more detail on that?
Yeah, sure. The US ALC is athlete leaders throughout the US, and they represent, their states. I'm right now an at-large member, and they give, their athlete leaders, and they bring along some ideas to the people on the national end. And we're the people on the national end. So we kind of, whatever the state people would like from us, we kind of bring it to them and give them our ideas and what things need to be changed or not need to be changed. And right now I'm an at-large member, but, I'm trying to be like a full-fledged member, but right now I'm an at-large member. So I'm basically just spectating the other person right now, but I don't know what's happening with the other person right now. So right now I'm just, I'm glad I'm on this council, the USALC. It's a fun group. All we do is yap about our bad football teams. So that's always good because all we do is yap about our bad football teams all the time. But it's a fun group. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy it very much. And Besides that, I'm on my 5 other councils. I'm on the Health Council, Mid-Atlantic Council, Games Organizing Committee, and my local council. And on the state end in New York, I'm an emeritus because I was the chairman last year. So I'm basically just helping out as much as I can. And then whenever they need me for something, I always do.
Billy is a busy man. That's a lot of things on your plate right there.
Sometimes I want to do more things, and my dad's got it. My parents and my ALC mentor up in Albany's got to like say, okay, you're doing a lot. Calm down.
I know 100% how you feel. I'm on a ton of committees myself, so I know your pain.
Yeah, it is. It's good, but it's like, my parents are like, you're spreading yourself too thin. I hope you understand that.
In regards to, again, as you mentioned, you won just a couple of years ago, the Rocket League tournament right there. How hard was it for you now that you're shoutcasting, you're watching people play? Are you sitting here at times like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was like that, Sterling. I was like to myself, what are they doing? Do they know that the ball's right there? They just missed it. So I'm like, I want to say something, but because I'm one of those people that I speak my mind, and sometimes I speak before I think what I'm going to say. So I'm like biting my fingers. I'm like, what are they doing? The ball's right there, and they just missed it by like 3 feet. So it was very hard for me to do because I did that in 2021. Am I still an experienced Rocket League player? No, but I can get the car up 5 feet. I can't do aerials, like everything like that. But yeah, it was very hard.
All right, here, Ben, I'll let you have the final question.
All right. So now the big Gaming for Inclusion event is over. What's coming up next for you, Billy?
In Special Olympics New York, in my region, I have a unified bowling tournament with my parents. We'll find out how well that goes.
I want to give a huge shout out to my co-host, Ben Gregory. He's been just incredible this entire process. Again, Ben Gregory with Special Olympics, and we are here unified with Gaming for Inclusion. Billy Seide, again, Shoutcaster, I think should become a professional Shoutcaster if I had my way. Billy, really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Sterling. Thank you, Ben. It's nice to talk to you guys, and can't wait to do this soon.